refuse those details, we're going to have to arrest you, okay?
And what are you going to arrest me for?
For breach of that.
For breach of...
Welcome to Raw Audit Reviews, where we examine real-life encounters involving public officials and take a closer look at accountability in action. Today's footage comes from PJ Audits. Their link is below, so make sure to check out the full video for complete context in this episode. A drone pilot is carrying out what appears to be a fully lawful flight. The drone weighs under 250 grams, placing it in a low-risk category, and it's being flown in public airspace above a factory. On the surface, there doesn't seem to be any violation or restricted activity taking place. Despite that, police are called to the scene. A female officer and a PCSO arrive to question the pilot. What begins as a routine interaction soon turns into a debate over drone regulations and legal authority. During the exchange, the officer references legislation that is no longer active and mentions rules that don't appear to apply in this situation. The drone pilot calmly challenges these claims and explains the current guidance. As the discussion continues, the tension rises, and the possibility of arrest is introduced. Let's break down what happened and examine the key moments in this encounter.
You can have whatever you like, love. Are you recording me?
Yes, I am. Are you recording me?
I am.
Fair play. Okay. We had the call. Are you aware? What
That's why I'm still here waiting.
Oh, okay. They are saying that you've been flying a drone.
That's right.
Over the premises.
That's right.
Oh, okay. And what's the intention of that?
To take a video.
Oh.
It don't matter what the intention is. It's uncontrolled airspace, love, and I can fly wherever I like.
Oh, and have you got any certificate for that?
I don't need a certificate for it.
But you got flyer ID?
I have got flyer ID.
Yeah.
Have you got that?
I have.
Have you got that on you?
I have.
Have you got that on you now?
I have.
Okay, where is it?
In my pocket.
Okay, can we have it?
Oh, right. You mean, can we have a look at your flyer ID, please?
Yeah.
Pretty much that, so yeah, just, yeah.
So what are the rules and regulations then of flying over an occupied space?
You're supposed to know this, not me.
Well, you're the person that's got the licence, so therefore I'm checking to see whether you know what the rules and regulations are.
Am I alright just to hold it, Peter?
As long as you don't take photographs of it.
I'll record it.
No,
Well,
don't want that.
Record it anyway.
No, don't
okay?
want it. Don't
Okay,
want it recorded.
it's okay, it's in my possession. I'm not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, I don't
okay?
want you recording it. It's my property.
Okay, I know.
Thank
I know
you.
it's property, but you're giving me your property. So what I'll do...
No, you took it off me. I showed it you and you took it out my hand.
Yeah, because it's
Right,
easy for
and
me.
I want it back now, thank you.
It's easy for me just to get your details. Okay, darling, I'm just going to write it
Right.
down. But I
No,
just
you're
want-
alright.
Hang on, I'll just quickly take your details.
You've got my details, you've got them on your camera.
Yeah, but I need to rewatch it. It's easier if I just write it down.
Right from the start, the officer asks to see his flyer ID. The drone pilot cooperates and presents it without hesitation. However, instead of simply checking it and handing it back, she holds it up in front of her body-worn camera, despite him clearly stating that he does not consent to it being recorded. That moment immediately sets the tone for what follows. For clarity, a flyer ID is issued by the Civil Aviation Authority as part of the UK drone registration system. Anyone flying a drone weighing 100 grams or more is required to have one. It's a form of identification confirming that the operator has completed the necessary registration process and understands the rules. What becomes important here is authority. There is no automatic power allowing an officer to seize or retain that ID without legal grounds. The pilot showed it voluntarily to demonstrate compliance. When he asks for it back, the officer responds by suggesting it would be easier to take his details instead. Easier for whom? Administrative convenience does not override property rights or legal limits. Within the first half-minute of the interaction, the situation already raises concerns about boundaries and proper procedure. A simple check turns into something more complicated than it ever needed to be.
If we've come out to somebody, what we'll do is we'll PNC you, right? Because we've come out specifically to come and see you because you've been flying.
Yeah, but I don't have to give you my details. The only reason I've given you my details, I don't even have to give you that. And now she's taking it off me.
She hasn't taken it off.
She has, she's refusing to give it me back.
Okay.
Don't matter, I want it back, thank you. My property.
Okay, so what I think it is, okay, and according to the law, have you heard about Article 265 and navigation order? 2016.
Just a series of numbers.
No, it's not.
2016.
It's actually an offence, okay?
Right.
By the sound of it, you have broken the law today.
No, I haven't.
So now, if you just listen out to me, okay? I suspect you have broken the law. In order to what, I expect to obviously ask for your details, get your full name, date of birth, etc. Or then tell me it'll be whatever.
I haven't broken any.
At this point, the officer turns to what she clearly believes is her strongest argument. She cites Article 265 of the Air Navigation Order 2016 with confidence, as though the matter is about to be settled on the spot. The tone suggests she expects that reference alone to end the discussion. The issue, however, lies in how that regulation applies. The provisions she mentions relate to heavier unmanned aircraft. The drone being flown in this case weighs under 250 grams, which places it in a separate category under Civil Aviation Authority guidelines. That distinction is not minor. It changes the operating permissions entirely. Drones under 250 grams are allowed to fly closer to individuals and can operate in residential, commercial, recreational, and industrial areas, provided they are flown safely. The commonly cited 50-meter and 150-meter separation distances generally apply to drones above that weight threshold. Different weight class means different restrictions and allowances. When PJ calmly points this out and explains the category difference, there's an opportunity to pause and verify the information. Instead, the response is to stand firm on the original claim. Rather than reviewing the guidance, the officer continues to assert the same position, and the exchange grows more tense as a result.
Right. Would you like me to demonstrate what it is?
You can demonstrate what you like, and then I'll show you the proper version.
The proper version?
Yeah, the proper version that says a sub 249 gram drone can fly anywhere. As long as it's not.
No.
As long as it's not an airfield or a prison.
No, this other
That's
laws.
2016, that's 8 years old.
But it's
Yeah.
slightly
years
changed with the recording device, hasn't it?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does if you record
No, it doesn't. You don't know nothing, mate.
Do
I'll
just
show you in
wanna-
a minute.
That's on there. Do you just want to go through the point and I'll just add this to the log?
Well, we haven't seen where you've been flying.
Would you?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because you're not supposed to fly with 150 metres of
Who's told you that
built-up
rubbish?
area.
Who's told you that?
That's what it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
As the discussion continues, the PCSO steps in, seemingly to reinforce the officer's position. He states that a drone cannot be flown within 150 meters of a building if it has a recording device attached. He presents it as a firm rule, leaving little room for doubt. The problem is that no such provision exists in current UK drone regulations. There is no rule that restricts flight simply because a drone is equipped with a camera. The presence of a recording device does not automatically trigger additional distance limitations under the law. The 150-meter separation guideline he appears to be referring to relates to heavier drones operating near congested areas, not to cameras or recording capability. Weight, category, and location are the relevant factors, not whether the aircraft can capture video. What makes the moment striking is the certainty behind the statement. It's delivered with complete confidence, even though the legal basis for it doesn't appear to exist. In situations like this, clarity and accuracy matter, especially when authority is involved.
I understand about the small drone. I understand
Yeah.
about that, but you got a recording device on it.
Doesn't matter.
What
Does
is
not
What is your
matter.
purpose
Making videos.
of?
Oh, what do you think?
I don't know.
What do you think I videoed?
I don't know what you've
A factory.
So what is your purpose? Why are you?
To video a factory. That's what I do. 400 and odd videos on YouTube. This is the third one today.
Have they given you permission to film?
You don't need permission. As long as I take off and land in a public place, I can fly wherever I like.
Well, it's a private place, isn't it? It's not a public place.
No, I said as long as I take off and land in a public place, I can film whatever I like, and I can fly wherever I like, as long as it's not an
What
airfield
about human
or a
act
prison.
right, then?
What about what?
What about human act rights? What about human act rights?
Human what?
Human act rights.
I don't know what you're
Have
saying.
you not heard about human act rights?
What about it?
The situation then shifts again. The officer claims that the pilot needs permission from the business owner to fly over the property. That assertion raises another key misunderstanding about how airspace works in the UK. Under UK law, permission is required to take off from or land on private property. However, once a drone is airborne, the airspace itself is regulated by the Civil Aviation Authority, not by the owner of the land below. If the airspace is not designated as restricted, and in this case the industrial estate is not, there is no general requirement to obtain consent simply to pass overhead. When that argument doesn't settle the matter, she changes direction and begins referencing what she repeatedly calls human act rights. It appears she is attempting to rely on Article 8, which concerns the right to respect for private and family life. However, the way it is presented adds further confusion to the exchange. Article 8 protections are typically engaged where there is a reasonable expectation of privacy. A factory located in an industrial estate, visible from public roads and open airspace, would not ordinarily meet that threshold simply because it is being filmed from above. Public visibility significantly limits claims of private intrusion in such settings. At this stage, the discussion highlights a broader issue, citing legislation inaccurately and applying it in circumstances where it does not clearly fit, only deepens the misunderstanding. Instead of clarifying the situation, it adds another layer of tension to an already strained interaction.
For example, right to privacy. No?
Right? Haven't you heard that there's no such thing as privacy in a public place?
Well, they are a private business.
Right. Okay. Let me run a scenario past you then.
Okay. No, you're not running any scenario.
I am going to run a scenario past you. If I
are.
stand outside Buckingham Palace and photograph or video the Queen on her balcony, which is private property, I can do, and nobody can do anything about it.
Balcony now,
What?
They? There's no balconies here, are they?
What difference does that make? The point I'm making is, I'm videoing somebody on private land.
Okay, but that's not a scenario we're talking about, are
No,
we?
it is. That's what you've just been talking
We
about.
are talking about you flying over a private business.
Doesn't matter.
Okay?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it is, because...
No, it isn't.
This is where the interaction really takes a sharp turn. PJ tries to break down the law for the officer using a simple, relatable example. He says, if I stand outside Buckingham Palace and film the Queen on her balcony, that's private property, but I'm allowed to do it because I'm filming from a public place. It's straightforward, easy to understand, and perfectly illustrates the principle at hand. The rule is simple. If something is visible from a location you're legally allowed to be, you are generally permitted to record it. The same principle applies whether it's royalty or a factory in an industrial estate. Visibility from a lawful position determines what's allowed, not the status of the property itself. But instead of grasping the analogy, the officer looks at the industrial estate and points out there are no balconies. She completely misses the point. PJ is explaining a legal principle. She seems to be interpreting it literally, as if he were asking for directions. And remember, this is the same officer who is moments away from threatening him with arrest. For anyone watching and thinking, I wouldn't know how to respond in that situation, there's a solution. PJ has put together a Know Your Rights guide that walks you through exactly these scenarios. What to say, what not to say, when you must provide your details, and when you don't. The link is in the description if you want to check it out and be
You've got to get the current laws, not laws. It's like saying 50 years ago, 60 years ago, they used to hang you for murder, but they don't anymore. So that I'm not going to get hung.
There are certain laws that still stand, okay, and I don't think this is one of them, alright?
So what, sorry?
I don't think you've got any right to be filming.
Well, it doesn't matter what you think, we're talking about the law.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Right, and you're wrong.
We are.
You are wrong, yes, thank you.
I shall clarify.
Yeah.
You are wrong.
Are you telling me if I get myself on the road,
As long as it's sub 250, yeah?
and stand in the road and film you,
Yeah,
fly it over your garden,
yeah.
that's absolutely fine with you.
You can fly it over my garden. Now, if you
Okay.
try and video in through the windows and stuff like that's a different matter.
Well, how do you know I'm not?
I don't. But you're talking about scenarios, and you didn't want scenarios a minute ago when I'm talking about the Queen.
Yeah, but that's a different matter.
Why is it a different matter?
Because it's the Queen.
Because I was saying it and not you. Right, okay. Don't have to give it you.
You do. Because
Why do I?
suspect you've committed an offence.
That's what, sorry?
I suspect you've committed an offence, so I need your name, your date of birth and your address.
I'm not giving them to you.
In case we need to contact you further in relation to this, if they want to make a complaint.
At this point, the officer starts to panic. Her earlier attempts to assert authority and apply the law have failed, so she falls back on demanding the pilot's personal details. She claims she suspects he's committed an offense and insists on knowing his name, date of birth, and address. Yet she cannot specify any actual offense because, simply put, there isn't one. The PCSO jumps in and reinforces the claim, stating that it's an offense not to provide your personal details. This is a common misconception that circulates widely, but it doesn't reflect how the law actually works. Under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, PACE, police can only arrest someone if they have reasonable grounds to suspect an offense and the arrest is necessary. One valid reason for arrest could be to establish a person's identity, but only if no other method is available and there is a genuine reason to suspect an offense has been committed. There's also Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, which allows officers to request a person's name and address, but only if they reasonably believe the individual has been acting in an antisocial manner. Flying a legally compliant drone does not meet that threshold in any way. When PJ calmly asks if he is being detained, the officer says no. That's the critical point. If he is not under detention and no offense has been committed, the officers do not have the legal power to force him to hand over his personal information. They can ask politely, but he has the right to refuse.
And I'll stand here all day until you find
I
out.
haven't got time for that. I haven't got time for that.
Well, that's not my problem.
But what the officer's asking is, she's got the right to ask you for your name and your date of birth, and it's an offence not to give it.
No, it's not. It's only an offence if I refuse to give my name and address, if I've been arrested or I'm being detained.
Well, you're not being any of those.
Right, thank you. So I don't have to give my details.
But we don't know whether an offence.
She's got my name. She's got my flyer ID. She can track me through my flyer ID.
You realise that if you don't give me the details, I'm going to have to arrest you.
That's all right. Then I'll sue you.
Fine, you can bloody well going to sue me, but I haven't got your details. You're refusing your details. You have committed an offence in my eyes. So I need your details so I can deal with you without taking you to custody. If you refuse those details, I'm going to have to arrest you. Okay.
And what are you going to arrest me for?
For breach of that.
For breach of that?
For breach of the flying. Yeah.
What flying rule's that? Explain to me. Give me the details.
The one that you've been arguing to me about.
Right, which is what?
And now we reach the moment everyone's been waiting for. The officer threatens to arrest the pilot if he refuses to provide his personal details. Throughout, he remains calm and simply asks one question: arrest me for what? Her response is vague at best. She refers to a breach of the flying, a statement that is not a law, not an offense, and not even a complete sentence. In other words, she is threatening to remove someone's freedom without being able to explain why. Legally, under Section 24 of PACE, an officer must have reasonable grounds to suspect that an offense has actually been committed before making an arrest. A vague suspicion or uncertainty is not enough. There must be clear, articulable grounds tied to a specific offense. In this case, she cannot provide any such grounds because none exist. The pilot has done nothing wrong. He is operating completely within the law, while the officer has been improvising her authority the entire time. By this point, it's clear she has run out of any legitimate course of action, and the situation exposes just how critical proper training and legal knowledge are when exercising power over the public.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Unmanned aircraft.
Right.
Need people, vessels, vehicles, or structures.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That alone. Thank
Right.
you very much. Yeah.
But you're quoting specific weights, etc. But you can't prove to us what weight you're.
You're refusing.
Oh, I can do.
We
You're
can't. Because you're not
refusing
allowing
to,
us to see it. So
I can
therefore,
do.
the officer's got the right, because at this moment she doesn't know whether an offence has been committed, to ask you for your name and address and your date of birth. It's a normal thing, but you're refusing to do that. You're making it difficult.
I'm not making it difficult. I'm just telling you. I'll show you my drone. That's all I'm going to do.
I see you've got a lot of time on your hands. All right.
I'll show you my drone. That's all I'm going to do. and then you can see it's a sub 250 gram drone, then there's no argument.
But why haven't you done it before then?
You what, sorry?
Why haven't you?
Because it's up.
In the end, he simply shows him the drone, under 250 grams, exactly as he had said from the very beginning. Every regulation the officer cited was irrelevant to his drone. Every rule the PCSO tried to invent was completely made up, and every threat of arrest carried absolutely no legal weight. What's striking is how many opportunities she had to pause, listen, and acknowledge the mistake. A simple, "You might be right, let me check," would have resolved everything. But instead, she clung to her ego, letting herself look foolish on camera rather than admit she was wrong. The bigger issue isn't just that she didn't know the law, it's that she refused to learn, even when the pilot patiently explained it. You don't need to be a legal scholar to serve the public, but if you're going to threaten someone's liberty, you should at least know what law you think they've broken. She misquoted regulations, invented rules about recording devices, couldn't even name the Human Rights Act correctly, and when asked what offense she was arresting him for, she said only breach of that. This isn't policing, it's guessing. And guessing should never come with the power to take away someone's freedom. If this video helped you understand your rights better, drop a like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe, stay informed, and take care.